Hello everyone, I am Purna Kumari, guest lecturer, Government College of Engineering, Bodi Naikanur. In this session, I am going to discuss about the parameter measurements in the optical fiber. So now we are going to discuss about the attenuation measurement, dispersion measurement and refractive index profile measurement. So let us see how the attenuation is going to be measured using this given setup. So now we are going to use a white light source. This white light source can be of xenon arc lamp or Dunction halogen lamp. So then that rays is going to be passed through the lens and chopper and given to the lock-in amplifier. After that, it is going to pass through the monochromator. The monochromator is used to select the required wavelength at which the attenuation is to be measured. Usually, the white light source is going to generate various wavelength. So, this monochromator is going to select the required wavelength. After that, it is going to pass through the lens and order shorting filter. So, the lens is going to magnify the beam. Then it is going to be passed through the beam splitter. So, the beam splitter is used to split the transmitted signal and the reflected light based on the beam ratio. Then it is passed through the mode scrambler. So it is mainly attached to the fiber to get uniform distribution of fiber. Then cladding mode stripper, it is mainly used to select only the fundamental mode which is going to propagate to the fiber. So it is passed through the index match photodetector. This photodetector can be of pin or avalanche photodiode in order to convert a light signal to electrical signal. So after that it is passed to the lock-in amplifier. The lock-in amplifier amplifies only the wavelength of the signal that matches the reference signal. So then the attenuation is going to be measured in your display. It is given by alpha dB, which is equivalent to 10 divided by L1 minus L2 log base 10 of P01 divided by P02. Here this L1, this is the original fiber length and L2 is the cutback fiber length. So the P01 is the power due to the original fiber length and P02 corresponds to the cut-off back fiber length. The main disadvantage behind this cutback technique is it cannot be used for the cables with connectors. The next parameter measurement is dispersion. So there is dispersion measurements gives an indication of the distortions of the optical signals as they propagate down the optical fibers. Here this optical fiber represented by a system. So due to this delay distortion, so it will lead a pulse broadening of your transmitted light pulse. So due to this, what will happen means the information carrying capacity of the fiber is going to be affected. These dispersions can be measured in time domain as well as frequency domain. This dispersion effects may be characterized by taking the measurements of the impulse response of the fiber in the time domain or by measuring the baseband frequency response in the frequency domain. So the three major mechanisms which produce these dispersions in optical fibers are material dispersion, waveguide dispersion and intermodal dispersion. This arrangement gives you the measurement of dispersions in time domain. So here we are going to use the pulse driver. It is going to produce an optical pulse of time durations 100 to 400. Then it is passed through your source, optical source, by means of using a fast driving electronics. So this pulses is going to be travel down the length of the fiber under test and are broadened due to the various dispersion mechanisms. Here the beam splitter is used to split the transmitted and reflected signal based on the beam ratio. Based on the types of fiber we are going to use, either we can use single mode fiber or multi-mode fiber. So in single mode fiber, it will causes intramodal dispersions, and multimode dispersion, multimode fiber, intermodal dispersions will be take place. The pulses from the fiber is received by a high-speed photodetector, that is an avalanche photodiode, and are displaying on the first sampling oscilloscope. So this beam splitters is utilized for triggering the oscilloscope and for input pulse measurement also. The fiber dispersion is obtained from the two pulse width measurement, which are taken at any convenient fraction of the amplitude. The next one is the dispersion measurement in frequency domain. Except this oscilloscope, we are going to use only spectrum analyzer. So the remaining setup is everything is same. So it is going to take the Fourier transform of the pulse in the time domain and hence displays the constitution frequency component. The spectrum at the fiber output P0W with the spectrum at the fiber input P1W, it will provide the baseband frequency response for the fiber under test. So next we are going to discuss about the refractive index profile measurement. So this is a very important parameter in order to characterize the properties of the optical fiber. So using this refractive index profile, we can able to measure we can calculate the numerical aperture and the number of modes that can be propagated within the core of the fiber. Also, the impulse response and the information carrying capacity of the fiber is strongly depends on the refractive index profile. So the refractive index profile can be measured using two methods. So first one is Mach-Zehnder method, second one is near field scanning method. So this is the setup for your Mach-Zehnder interferometer. So here we are going to consider a thin slice of fiber. So here the both ends are polished to obtain a square and also optically flat surface. So even though this slab is going to be immersed in an index matching fluid, and this assembly is going to be examined with the interference microscope. So here two major methods we can employ, either by means of using a transmitted light interferometer and reflected light interferometer. In both cases, light from the microscope travels normal to the prepared fiber silica faces, and differences in this refractive index result in different optical path length. So when the phase of this incident light is compared with the phase of the emerging light, a field of parallel interference fringes is observed. So the fringe displacement is called skew. So this will occurs due to the variations of density of core material. By observing the refractive index profile computed from the interference pattern, so the x-axis denotes the core radius and this y-axis denotes the refractive index difference. So the fringe displacement measured using the reference parallel fringes outside the fiber core. The refractive index difference between a point in the fiber core and the cladding can be obtained from the fringe shift Q which corresponds to the number of fringe displacement. Here the refractive index difference is given by q lambda divided by x. So the x is nothing but the thickness of the fiber slab and lambda is the incident optical wavelength. The next method is near field scanning method. So in this method we are going to examine this profile by the near field intensity distribution. So here we are using the Lambatian source, that means it can be of LED or tungsten lamp in order to excite all the guided modes. Here this is used to magnify the light rays, and we are using the chopper. It is mainly used to cut the light rays into smaller parts. It is passed through the preamplifier section. Mainly this transversable detector is used to obtain more power at the core and slightly less when it is away from the core axis. Then the near field optical power density at the radius or from the core axis PDR can be expressed as a fraction of core axis near field optical power density PD of 0. It is given by this terminology. Here this N10 and N1R. So the N10 is nothing but the refractive index at the origin, and N1R is nothing but the refractive index at a distance R. And N1 and N2 be the core and cladding refractive index. So here the C of R comma Z is the correction factor. So the correction factor is used to compensate for any leaky modes present in the shortest fiber. However, the profile must be corrected with regard to this C of R comma Z factor. So it is very due to this it will take a large time. Okay, so time consuming exists in this method, so that this type of method is not recommended for single mode fiber. Thank you.